Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please rise. I present to you the PhD and daytime MBA graduating classes of 2019. Please be seated. I'm Bill Bolding, and it's my extraordinary privilege to be the Dean of the Fuqua School of Business. Every day at Fuqua, in my view, is a great day, but today is an extraordinary day. And it's extraordinary because we're here to celebrate the accomplishments of these students, soon to be graduates, in front of me. I'm so grateful to have all of them here with us and to celebrate this amazing achievement. I'd like to call special attention to our PhD students. Although small in number, if you count the number of years that it takes to get a PhD, it may add up to as many years of education as the rest of you. And also our MBA students. It's so fantastic to celebrate this day with you, and it's a day full of extraordinary joy. I'm also so glad to have so many friends and family with us today, filling up Cameron Indoor Stadium and making this obvious that you have given so much support to the students in front of me, and we are so grateful for your support in getting them to this moment. I'd also like to thank the Fuqua faculty, the staff who have made this journey possible for all of you. It takes a group of people to get something done that's really incredible, and in this case is no exception. So thank you to all for joining us on this day of celebration. I'd like to start things off with some comments from our MBA co-presidents. And so first to speak will be Jeanette Carnelia, and then Jeanette will introduce Taylor to follow. But Jeanette, you're up.
Dean Bolding, Fuqua administrators, distinguished faculty, dedicated staff, friends, and family members, thank you for being with us today. And for the moms in the audience, happy Mother's Day. To the class of 2019, I stand before you immensely proud. Proud of the graduates I see in front of me. Among us, there are new parents, individuals who completed their degree in a foreign language, academic geniuses, misfits, budding entrepreneurs, newly or soon-to-be-wed power couples, future Americans, power brokers, people, and me. The daughter of two working-class New Yorkers who, while holding down 2 or 3 jobs at a time, showed me the kind of work ethic it would take for me to be standing here before you today. I am immensely proud. We all have different backstories, but what brings us together is the powerful experience we shared here. 2 years dedicated to becoming the world's uncommonly principled and good-humored future business leaders. Today, we will walk across the stage in celebration of all that we have both invested in and also taken away from Fuqua. For some of us, our primary takeaway is knowledge. Those of you who feel this way blew past 79 credits months ago and squeezed every last bit of knowledge out of our faculty. You can calculate a discounted cash flow like a seasoned pro, or run a regression to explain the hairiest of problems. You are prepared to impress with just how expansive your brain has become. For others, you are taking away from Fuqua invaluable experience. You led your peers to complete new projects that will impact many future generations of MBAs. You partnered with a nonprofit to uncover and solve problems they didn't know were preventing their success. You have accomplished a lot, and you are now prepared to take on tough business challenges because ambiguous and unpredictable are your new best friends, thanks to your Fuqua experiences. And of course, there are the relationships we will all take away from Fuqua. The ones that clicked from the beginning, that led to the late-night heart-to-hearts and the just-in-time pep talks, as well as the ones that never quite gelled, but you respect for what the adversity taught you. It is the combination of these knowledge, experiences, and people we bring into the next phase of our lives, and that make these 2 years some of the best. Some people even say that it makes our MBA years the best. And to those people, I say, God, I hope not. I hope, like me, you feel like you've only just gotten started. I hope when you walk across the stage today, you feel a boundless energy and the confidence that you haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what's possible. I am confident this is the case for us because Fuquans are made for more. Fuqua has given us the tools we need to be fearless, deliberately so, but fearless nonetheless. And so I have 2 wishes for you as you embark on what's next. First, I wish for you more truly remarkable failures. The star stories we've been telling recruiters aren't the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the type of failure that tests the limits of your mind, your heart, and your soul all at once. The ones that force you to build yourself back up from your foundation, because when you do the work to test and set new limits, I have found that you are propelled to a new level of self-acceptance, gratitude, and determination. My few experiences taught me that. But you can't do it alone. The reason I hope for more failure is because today you walk away with a stronger support system, better poised than ever before to overcome them. Look around you, and you will see your enablers, your experts, and your co-conspirators, the people who will help you find the profound lessons and make sure you come out on the other side of a stunning flop, a better person. I also wish for you the courage to take bigger risks. The knowledge and experience we have gained will lead us down a path starting today that enables us to do so and reap bigger rewards. Our finance classes taught us about risk and return, but nothing made the brilliance of this relationship so apparent to me as the magnificent highs and the spectacular lows of these past 2 years. I took some of the biggest risks of my life, and in doing so, I realized we now have the tools to carefully craft radical ideas and plan contingencies to realize our audacious goals. And even though that big volcano in Ecuador is still waiting for me to climb it, I vow never to stop rolling the dice, because when we do, we find ourselves in pursuit of our dreams when others would have stayed on the sidelines. So I hope we all find the courage someday to do something we are not entirely sure will work, and the confidence to keep going, even when it doesn't. I recognize what I envision for us, my fellow graduates, sounds a bit messy, but Fuqua has given us what we need to make life and career a little less scary, a lot more exciting, and always getting better and better. And so I'll close with a lyric from fellow Yankee, Frank Sinatra. He sang in 1959, "The best is yet to come, and won't that be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine." Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2019. I now have the pleasure of introducing my co-conspirator, Taylor Donner.
Definitely not how I envisioned my graduation day going. It's definitely going to put a damper on my golf game, I can tell you that. All joking aside, unfortunately I wasn't able to attend Fuqua finale, but I wanted to say what an absolute pleasure it was to work with Jeanette and our amazing cabinet this year. Each and every one of you made me a better person in a different way. And Jeanette is right. The best is definitely yet to come. But I gotta say, the last 2 years are gonna be pretty hard to beat. There's been parties and proposals, treks and trophies, and tons of hugs and high fives as we walk through the mallway every day. In the last few weeks, we've become very sentimental, which has made it all that much more challenging to address you today. We've heard compelling stories from members of the community, witnessed deserving people receive awards, and made plenty of toasts to our futures as leaders of consequence. A wise man with blue-rimmed glasses and Duke cowboy boots once told me that one of his personal forms of happiness is finding gratitude in everything. And in reflecting upon these last 2 years, I asked myself, how do I say thank you? How do I say thank you for making me feel part of a team? How do I say thank you for encouraging me to speak my truth and telling me that my opinion matters? How do I say thank you for eagerly showing me your part of the world? How do I say thank you to those who taught me that I absolutely must be an advocate for all, especially those who have different life experiences than I? And how do I say thank you to all those who found joy in each and every one of our successes? And the answer is, I really have no idea. But I do know what led me to find what I'm grateful for. As a teacher in the rural South who eventually went to work for a startup in New Orleans, I was skeptical that 2 years would be enough time to make me feel confident in my ability to thrive in the corporate world. In reality, I was terrified. Upon arriving here, I must admit that I felt out of place. I was welcomed, but I felt out of place. Everyone seemed so successful, driven, and certainly more self-assured than I. However, time came to reveal that most of us were all in the same boat, stranded in the middle of the sea with a compass we had no idea how to use. I know, ocean metaphors are super cheesy, but come on, you all know how cheesy I actually am. So what did we do? We became a compass for one another while learning to navigate our own. Our C-Lead teammates guided us through unfamiliar and challenging content. We helped steer each other through internship and full-time recruiting. And whenever anyone needed anything, whether it was to vent a frustration or share a major win, we were always there to keep our classmates afloat. Even the guy whose name is written on this court says that he wants to only lead a team of players who make those around them better. And I can think of few other teams that do this better than our team right here, Team Fuqua. Although we may have made a few wrong turns along the way and didn't end up going in the exact direction we intended to when we first wrote our essays, eventually, each of us discovered something that enabled us to learn how to better navigate ourselves and those around us. This inner compass, or whatever you want to call it, is something that we've always had. But today, after this 2-year journey, we are fully prepared to leverage it as we grow into even more distinguished leaders of consequence. And for that, I must thank our faculty and administration, our loving family members, especially our mothers on this Mother's Day weekend, and the Fuqua MBA class of 2019. Cheers, y'all. Each year, the graduating class gets to select the class speaker, and this year is no different. It is my distinct honor to introduce you your class speaker, Jonathan Johnny on the Street Woodward.
All right. I am excited. I'm going to drink water if you bear with me for just a second. Good morning, deans, faculty, staff, family, friends, and of course, the class of 2019. And a very special welcome to the confused tourists who have just entered Cameron Indoor Stadium and come upon a graduation. Quickly, though, I want to say thank you to 2 important people in my life. My mom, thank you so much for everything, Mom. And my wonderful wife, Amanda, thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you, yeah. I wanted to thank the class of 2019 as well for nominating me to be our class speaker. It is a tremendous honor. Of course, it was not all of you that nominated me. And for those of you who cannot believe they let a Fuqua Vision president speak at commencement, well, neither can I, honestly. I'm going to speak for exactly 6 minutes and 23 seconds. I think you all deserve to know how long this particular segment of today will be, because a well-known but rarely adopted in the world of graduation ceremonies, the fact is that there is no greater pleasure that you can give an audience than to tell them when you will finish speaking. All of my type A classmates just looked at their watches, so I'm going to get started. I'm certain many of you reflected over these last 2 years quite a bit. I know that I have for sure. About a week ago, my brother-in-law Zach came to visit me, and over a chicken pickle biscuit at Monuts, Zach asked me how my 2 years at Fuqua had been. I said it was great. And he said, well, what'd you do? And I said, a lot. And he said, well, like what? And I said, and this is true, business school stuff. After struggling to answer this simple question, I decided to be a bit more intentional about my reflection. And today, I'm going to share my list of the 6 things I know for sure happened and that I will hopefully never forget moving forward. So without further ado, here is Johnny on the list. Number 1, when in doubt, go first. Not in a selfish, push people out of the way kind of style, but to be vulnerable and to open up. So many of the friendships that I've forged here at Fuqua started off with one of us saying, hey, I like you. Do you like me? And they said, yes. And you said, great, let's be friends. The important thing is to go first, to get to know one another. After today, we will not have C-leads or sections, but at the very least, we will know what it takes to build a relationship. So just go first. Number 2, the right answer to every single business challenge is, it depends. Number 3, it is possible it's true. Number 3, it is possible to take a vacation every 6 weeks. We've all done it, and we can keep doing it, seriously. I've learned the value of getting out of your setting, and I've learned the tremendous financial cost of traveling all around the world these last 2 years. But maybe it won't be to Australia or Morocco or Japan or Israel. We all went these places, seriously. But maybe every once in a while, you'll make some time in your schedules to go visit a familiar face or see something new. Number 4, fun is serious business. At Fuqua, we're really serious about working hard to create fun experiences for one another. The Lhasa White Party, the Daffle Ball, the Full Moon Party, Blue Cup, Wine Around the World, the Castle, the VIP section at Tavern, the list goes on. But fun is a serious matter. And creating opportunities for bonding and creating social connections actually is worth the effort. But it takes that. It takes effort. Nowhere have I learned this more than as a Fuqua Vision co-president. Me, Sarah, Jesse, and so many other members of our cabinet, and actually so many of you, would pour hours upon hours creating these videos for classmates. I can say without questions that these were some of the most fun nights of my entire life, and I want to thank you for that. It was a lot of work, really too much work. I honestly probably spent too much time making videos. But I hope we continue to make room for fun in our lives. Number 5. There have been peaks and there have been valleys, as both Jeanette and Taylor mentioned earlier. Our time at Fuqua has been both such an amazing gift and opportunity, but it's also been really hard and weird. So weird, in fact, that I often called my family and friends and wondered, is this actually happening? Fuqua's filled simultaneously with Fuqua Fridays and late nights of playing Mafia and playing basketball, Shooters 2, tavern emails, expensive course packs, chicken tenders, Ps, SPs, PDPs, as well as jokes from Pino, getting a first round interview, getting rejected from a second round interview, all swirled into one. This tension, the high and lows, I think it's a marker that we are doing something worth doing. Or it could just be that life is equally magnificent as it is hard. I don't know. You decide. And finally, number 6. Don't forget to water the roses. We have all been consumed these past 2 years. The best of us have been able to maintain relationships with friends and family back home. But if you're like me, you probably could have done a better job at this. Maintaining relationships is really hard work. Fuqua taught me that. When I was a kid, I would stay with my grandmother, Ani, and she would have me do chores, like watering the garden. And each day before I went out, she would say, "Johnny, please remember to water the roses." And I would say, "Grandma, of course, who would water a garden and skip the roses?" But what I would later find out, like so much of her sage advice, the water and the roses that she was referring to were actually the people and the roses in our life. The people that brighten our days and make our gardens of life so spectacular. So I hope moving forward we continue to water those roses, because I know I've met so many roses throughout my experience, and I'm sure you have too. All right, that's all I have for now, but if I think of anything else, I will definitely let you know. To me, we are so much more than a team. Teams trade players, teams dissolve, they move, and I think teams are wonderful, don't get me wrong. But we are a family, the Fuqua family of 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, Taylor, Jeanette, for your absolutely terrific remarks. I'd now like to acknowledge a few faculty and staff members who have been picked out by the graduating class as being very significant to your experience here. These awards were given out earlier, and so we won't make a big presentation here, but I would like to first acknowledge Ryan McDevitt, who received the award for innovation in teaching in a core course. Congratulations, Ryan. As well, I'd like to recognize Bill Mayu, who received the Award for Innovation in Teaching in an elective class. Bill? And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Sarah Wakefield, who received the Student's Choice Staff Award for incredible service to the community. So thank you, Sarah. It is now an honor and privilege to introduce our commencement speaker. Tim Ryan is the senior partner and chairman of PwC US. And when we think about how we choose a commencement speaker, there are a number of criteria that have to be met. Above all, we want someone to stand up here who is a role model for all of you, someone where you can say, I aspire to be someone like that. I aspire to achieve that kind of success. And so the first thing is, it has to be an individual who has actually accomplished something, who has achieved success and significance in their professional life. But the second thing is that you want someone who has benefited from wisdom that they've accumulated during their career and therefore has something insightful to share with you as you move forward into the next stage of your journey. And so, first of all, Tim has been extremely successful. You don't get to be the head of PwC without being someone of incredible accomplishment, but he's also extremely wise. He's someone who has advised people over a 25-year career and earned the trust and respect of so many firms because of the wisdom and insight that he consistently provides. The third thing that we look for in terms of providing a role model to you is to choose someone who has achieved this success by doing things the right way, who has made his or her organization better while doing what's best. And here, Tim is a fantastic choice. Tim is someone who really believes in the importance of the people around him. Oftentimes you hear me talk about this triple threat leadership capability, that you need the IQ, the emotional intelligence, and the decency to bring people behind you, to bring them together, to get them to work with common purpose. And Tim is someone who very much exemplifies these three traits. He's incredibly smart and is driving the transformation of PwC in response to the very seismic shifts in the world around us. But he also cares deeply about the people around him. He connects with them. He understands that you accomplish nothing without a great team. And so he's consistently building a great team and connecting to people around him. And finally, he's an incredibly decent human being where it's obvious that he cares about the people around him. And because he so deeply cares about the people on his team, they give him their very best. But more than that, he has taken these values and extended them beyond the walls of PwC in terms of saying there's something important in the world today, which is we need to be sure that we can show how we bring people together to get them to act with common purpose and accomplish something great. And so Tim is the founder of the CEO Action Group, focused on diversity and inclusion. That group now has 700 members, 700 CEOs have signed up. So his impact goes well beyond PwC to fundamentally reshaping the business landscape around issues of diversity and inclusion, because he believes this is something that will make organizations better while doing what's best. So Tim exemplifies this triple threat capability, and in my view is a true exemplar of leader of consequence. Tim, they're all yours.
So, Team Boulding, thank you. And you said that I had wisdom, but after looking at Jeanette, Jonathan, Taylor, I'm not sure I can say much more. You're remarkable. So, Jeanette, first I want to say thank you for your humility and you sharing your background, because it proves that anybody can succeed. Taylor, for your willingness to thank people, because we don't get anywhere in life without thanking anybody. And Jonathan, I'm still thinking, but I would like you to come to the boardroom with me a couple of times with my clients, because the answer is always, it depends. So Folks, it is an honor to be here today, and I am sincerely privileged to stand in front of this class of amazing graduates. I've been tracking commencement speech across the U.S. over the last couple of weeks, seeing who's speaking on what topics, and what caught my eye was J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans is speaking at Wisconsin next week. And I saw that he was, okay, we have a couple of Texans out there, go ahead. I saw that he was asked about his comments. And he said, well, I haven't really prepared many remarks because all I know about graduations is people want to get in and get out and get on with the party. So I want to let you know I'm going to do my best to get you to that party. But before I do that, I do have a few words of wisdom regardless of what path you take. Before I jump into that, I do want to thank the Duke faculty, staff, and all the people who put today's ceremony together because it wouldn't be possible, your success, without this group. So I do want to thank them first. I'm also going to ask the graduates to stand up for a second. And on behalf of this group of graduates, I want you to turn to your families and thank them, because they're the ones who made this possible. Okay, you can sit down. To the families, friends, parents, brothers, sisters, people who have driven a long way. I was out in the foyer early this morning. I heard about people who drove through the night from Massachusetts, through the night through New Hampshire, Tennessee. You've done a lot to get here, but more importantly, the work you've done with this group is immensely appreciated. And on behalf of all the graduates, thank you for what you've done. And lastly, that brings to you all, congratulations on an amazing milestone. But as your peers said to you, also just the beginning. Now, when Dean Boulding told me that I was going to be your commencement speaker, first I was honored, and then I started thinking about what do I talk about? What do I share with a group like this? Then I thought, well, wait, I'm the CEO of one of the big four firms. I'll talk to you about accounting. And then I realized that might be a teeny bit too exciting for this group. But then the more I thought about it, accounting is actually the perfect place to start. See, accounting is all about balance. As accountants, we love balance sheets. Some of you studied. We love balancing numbers. We love balancing books. As accountants, we love to know that everything is exactly where they should be, and we're always in the pursuit of balance. But as you heard from your speakers today, balance is not just isolated to accounting. In life, when things are good, we say we have a balanced diet, a balanced lifestyle, and we use balance to say that things are good. Balance is also used when things are in contradiction. People say you need to listen and not just talk. People will also say something your speakers talked about, you need to play hard and work hard because balance is important. Balance can also be used, however, when people are trying not to change something. When people want to maintain the status quo, you'll often hear, well, wait a minute, we need to be balanced. And graduates, if there's one place in our world where I think it's critically important we do not maintain the status quo, and where we break the balance, it's around the inequities and inequalities that exist in our world today. You've studied a lot of numbers and a lot of data here as you studied business school stuff. Let me share with you some brief facts. In the United States today, for every dollar a man earns, a woman earns 81 cents. In the United States today, for every $1 of wealth that exists in a white household, there's 10 cents of wealth in a black household. In the United States today, 30% of Latinx earns a college degree, a high school degree, and 4% earn a college degree. And in the United States today, 65% of our population does not have $500 on hand for a household emergency. Now, I'm sure if we put our teams together, we would come up with dozens of reasons as to why those inequalities exist. But I think we can all agree that they're wrong and they need to be fixed. I also want to acknowledge that trying to fix these seemingly intractable inequalities can be overwhelming. But I want to remind you, you're at Fuqua, and at Fuqua, anything is possible. Now, as you go out into the world and you take on these challenges, whether they be in your businesses, or they be in your nonprofit endeavors, or if you choose the elected official path, what's really important is that you reject those who demand that you maintain balance. And you reject those who say that we need to maintain the status quo. In these challenges, you all are being presented with an amazing opportunity. Because by taking these challenges on, you have the opportunity to help our world achieve prosperity that we have never known. Imagine for a second what our world will look like if everyone had a fair shot. Now at JB Fuqua, we should all know that the namesake of this school grew up as a poor farm boy in Virginia. He could not afford a college education, but he reached out to several schools and he asked for free material. One college replied, Duke. J.B. Fuqua went on to found a Fortune 500 company. He went on to become a great philanthropist, and he made a difference in this world. The namesake of J.B. Fuqua, is living proof and evidence of what happens when everyone gets a fair shot. And as you set out to achieve success in your world, whether it be a business, whether it be political life, in your communities, I'd like to share 3 pieces of advice as you try also to address the imbalances that exist in our world. First, if you want to solve and understand society's biggest issues, you need to feel it here. You have had an amazing education here at Duke, but the way for us to understand our society's issues is to get out of the classroom, to go into your communities and understand and make it personal. You have to be willing to upset your own sense of balance. You have to disrupt your status quo and go out and make it personal. Now, in today's day and age with social media, most of us would say we're more connected than we've ever been before. Unfortunately, too often we're connected with people who don't share different views, who don't share different opinions. We're often in echo chambers where we're communicating with people who are just like us. My ask is you get out and you make it personal. Now, at PwC a few years ago, we were surprised to hear that many of our people were not comfortable bringing who they really were to work. We heard from many of our people that they felt they had to hide behind their suits because talking about who they really were, what their experiences were, was taboo. So I shut our firm down for a day. I shut our firm down for a day because I wanted all of us to understand each other's experiences so we could learn from one another. We wanted to learn what it was like to be a working mother, a first-generation immigrant, someone who was Black or a disabled person in our workplace. On that day, I learned that many of our Black professionals carry not only their license, but their PwC business card. So if they get pulled over, they can show that they afforded the car and that they didn't steal it. I learned that many of our professionals felt unsafe in everyday life, and many felt they had to hide who they really were. On that day, for me, it became personal. I learned more from our people, from sharing experiences than I could have ever learned by hanging out with people who were just like me. Shortly after that day, one of our professionals asked me, Tim, what's your role outside of the 4 walls of PwC? If I'm candid, I thought, whoa, can I just have a break? We just did something really big, shut the firm down for a day. But they asked the right question. And the more I reflected on it, I understood I and we sit in these seats for a short period of time. And our success, our legacy, is way beyond the bottom line. What I realized that as a leader of a professional service firm with 55,000 people, that we had a responsibility to our communities, and we had a responsibility to our clients to make sure we all do better. And with the help of a few CEOs, we founded a group called CEO Action for Diversity and Inclusion, a group that came together and simply said, we own the issue, and we're trying, and we can do even better. And that brings me to a very important point. Graduates, in order for you to achieve success, you need to understand people, all people. And the way that you do that is you go out into your communities. You not only maintain the great connections that you've had here, but you go out to places you've never been before. And you listen to people share their dreams. You listen to people share their disappointments. And when they get discouraged because they've been turned back and they don't think the system will ever get any better, give them a hug. Because at that moment in time, that's the best thing that you can do. And graduates, these people aren't only your future employees and your future customers, they're the ones you're going to be asking for capital to start your businesses. They're your future co-founders and they're your future running mates. Make it personal. My second piece of advice, think of the amazing leaders that you have studied about during your time here at Fuqua and across your entire education. People like Abraham Lincoln, people like Rosa Parks, Gandhi, amazing people. But during their time, they were not wildly popular. But each of them disrupted the balance in our world permanently and for the better. Graduates, I'm not saying you have to strive to have people not like you. But what I am saying is you need to be willing to be unpopular, and you need to be willing to be challenged. And as the father of 8 children in a blended family, with someone who's sitting over there, I know what it's like to be challenged every single day. And it is really important that we're willing to be challenged. Now, I referred to CEO Action that we started 2 years ago. It was one thing to start CEO Action. It was another one to grow it. The experts said you'd only get a few CEOs to join, because what CEO in their right mind would sign up for an initiative that puts more onus on them to do better on something where we all need improvement? But we stuck at it. We got a number of CEOs to come together. And in the early days, we were unpopular. We were talking with CEOs about an issue that made many of them uncomfortable. And I was unpopular for a while because I was challenging CEOs' sense of their own balance. But as we stuck with it, we had more CEOs join us. One who's in the room today, David Taylor, the CEO of Procter & Gamble, whose son is amongst you today, he was one of the early CEOs who came together with us. And together, we asked other CEOs to join to say that we can do better. And as Dean Boulding said today, we now have 700 CEOs across the country who represent tens of millions of employees and workers who are all doing just a little bit better, a little bit more, and we have momentum on disrupting the status quo in our country around inclusion. And that brings me to my last lesson. As you heard your student speakers talk already, nobody ever achieves greatness alone. Greatness is a team sport. Look around you. Look at the people you're in these chairs with, and look at the folks up in the stands. You are here because an ecosystem of teamwork got you to this position. Success is a team sport. I can't change diversity and inclusion in the United States by myself. It's not possible. But with a group of CEOs together, we can make a difference and disrupt our status quo. One of the biggest gifts you can give to yourself is permission not to have all the answers, and the courage to surround yourself with people who will help you arrive at better answers for the good of all. Graduates, as I wrap up, I want to go back in history. There was a time in our country where slavery was okay. There was a time in our history where women not being able to vote was okay. For most of us, it's almost impossible to see how that could have ever been viewed as okay. But it changed because people just like you, were willing to disrupt and challenge the status quo and bring balance to our world. My wish for all of you is that 100 years from now, someone is standing up at this podium. They're looking out at an amazing group of graduates, ambitious, talented, smart, and they talk about how our world lived in 2019, separate, apart, and unequal. And we all begin to wonder why that was okay. But then they thank you. They thank you because you had the courage to disrupt the status quo and make a difference and bring balance to our world. You want to be leaders in consequence. 3 simple pieces of advice. Number 1, make it personal from the heart. Number 2, be willing to be unpopular. And number 3, don't go it alone. Folks, congratulations, and I wish you an amazing future. Thank you.
Tim, thank you so much for your extraordinary and inspirational remarks, and for your willingness to say more than "it depends." We'd like to honor you by giving you a gift of appreciation, and so on behalf of the entire community, I give you So now we turn to recognition of the graduates, and so I'd like to ask Steve Mizuraka to step forward.
Bluff. Bottom line up front. Bluff. It's been a dream, an honor and privilege to work with and learn from you all, the class of 2019. We, the faculty and staff, are all proud and thankful to share in this experience with you all. We're incredibly grateful for everything you've done to make Team Fuqua better. So 10 years ago, I had the pleasure of walking across this stage to shake the dean's hand as a Fuqua graduate. The opportunity to reflect on 2 highly impactful years, and I was faced with tremendous uncertainty around what would come next. Fortunately, thanks to some incredible mentors that were on the same stage, my journey started working at a place I love, Fuqua. 2 years ago, starting at your orientation, I had the honor to embark on an unbelievable dream that started with welcoming you all. I still vividly recall the sights, the sounds, the anticipation, the excitement, and even my own nerves from those 3 long days. I do feel like it was just yesterday that I, with admiration, awe, and pride, observed Kate, Louie, Tim, Johnny on the street, nice job by the way, man, and many others crazily leading their section cheers. That experience instigated my first set of coffee chats with you all to learn more about your experience, and continued with so many fantastic interactions. Your class, the class of 2019, will forever be the class that helped shape what Team Fuqua means to me. In the past 2 years, through many highs and also a few lows, I've admired how you've elevated your classmates, supported each other, learned, and grown. As students, and now especially as alums, I am proud to be on your team. A few thank yous. To you all, I am so thankful to have you as part of the Fuqua family. Family is so important. In the spirit of Mother's Day, I've tried to welcome you and support you in a way that would make my mom proud. Mom, thank you for being my role model, my inspiration, and my motivation to lead and to love. To the class of 2019, I'm thankful for your time, your passion, your patience, your partnership, and your commitment to Fuqua and to each other. Jeanette and Taylor, thank you. FSBC, thank you. I'm thankful to your partners, your family, and your friends for the support on this journey. As I mentioned at your orientation, please know that the gift you have given yourself is a lifetime membership. We are here for you. Please always consider this home. Clear eyes, full hearts, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Okay, so it's almost that time. Before we individually recognize all graduates, we'd like to acknowledge and celebrate a number of today's graduates for various achievements. First, for each graduating class, we recognize the top 10% of the class based on their academic achievement. These students are designated as Fuqua Scholars, and the recipients are noted in your program. Would the 2019 Fuqua Scholars please stand and be recognized? Second, the students in the graduating class and the Fuqua deans nominate and select a number of students for awards based on their contributions to the Fuqua community. These awards and the recipients are also noted in your program. At this time, I ask that the second-year recipients please stand and be congratulated for your achievements. Okay, it is now time to individually recognize each of our graduates. We will ask each of our graduates to come forward to be recognized and congratulated by Dean Boulding, Tim Ryan, and myself. At this time, I would like to ask Catherine Schipper, the Thomas F. Keller Professor of Business Administration, to read the names of our graduating PhD students.
Wei Hao Yan. Kevin Kaidu. Ariane Aflaki. Jen Huan Lei. Andrew Frizzell. Levi DeVal. Juwon Kim. Hiraj O. Yunki Mai. Jae-yun Kim.
Thank you, Catherine. Now I would like to ask Ruskin Morgan, our Senior Associate Dean for Full-Time Programs, and Sherry Hubert, Associate Dean of Admissions, please come forward to read the names of our graduating MBA students.
Jeanette Cornelia. Jonathan, Johnny on the street, Woodward. Arthur Taylor Donner. Mohammed Abouaf. Bethia Uramagam. Aya Ahmad. Rosanna Geraldine Arias. Ashley Marie Brown. Nikita Sergeyevich Avdiashko. Sarah J. Arnio. Winnie Arinjani. Michael Patrick Arena. Chaz Stephen Allen. Ashley Averill. Tanya Asar. Brooks Joseph Baumgartner. Cameron Wayne Busher. Megan McKenzie Beaver. Bill Ashkenaz. Philip Tyler Bathurst. Brendan Bonner. Nadia Bagretsova. Ashta Bhatnagar. Ritu Arora. Matias Barbero. John Robert Belk Jr. Jing Tsai. Jide Aminu. Nana Kwaku Amongbeng. Kiran Bali. Abdul Sina Balagun. J. Alex Bowman. Niyant Onan. Michael Joseph Browder. Joshua David Byrne. Stephen Brandery. Shinju Chao. Ilun Chao. Kirill Bogoslavsky. Moshe Abramovich. Ori Benami. Carol Diaz. Ricardo Amalde Gomez Perez. Louisa Bertani. Andre Campoy. Alan Pirelli Barbosa Bifi. Alcides Biase Jr. Nathan Jacob Rager, Medical School. Ritika Beer. Tamara Aranji Amarasinghe. Alyssa Mara Brindel. Christina Natalie Abruzini. Adish Bombay. Chongfin Chow. Maria Alina Becerra. Maria Jose Arribas. Tuape Keliche Ojuya. Okuneviche Mofe Ojuya. Jonathan Michael Bowles. Mesro Bejanyan. Matthew Spencer Burton. Sebastian Arese. Parin Akarup Apapin. Sing Yun Bak. Jose Maria Cao. Alexandra Nixie Chen. Joanna Christine Guy. Arpit Gag. Wejia Fu. Christopher Joseph Caselli. John Brian Clark. Louis de Armas. Emily Rachel Karsh. Kevin Chang. Oriana Corrales. Gloria Ing Chow. Timothy Robert Curran. Andrea Marie D'Agostino. Taylor Curran Drexinger. Colin David Emerson. Michael Patrick Crowley. Brad Davis. Justin Michael Fink. Matthew Edward Dillon. Jeffrey Francis Fanning. Ray Yi Chen. Vicky Chan. Christopher Jing Ho Chow. Amanda Karina Dompas. Maria Eugenia Chaparro. Alejandro Fernandez Loretta. Eden Eldor. Anuj Ture. James R. Couch III. William Civitillo Jr. David Alexander Claps. Frank Moore Crocker. Kevin Bum Chi. Victoria Lynn Dan. Michelle Sarah Droshner. Zoe DeBrucker. Ibek Chokoteev. Bennett Savage Davidson. James Pierce Conklin. Amanda Mariel Fox. Aiden John Fitzgerald. Christos Coletas. Laura Marie Gardner. Zadi Fayed. Robert Thomas Galligan. Kellyanne Froelich. Octavio Colmenares Fayad. Paula Casalaje Abelo. Andre Lambert Genius. Tiffany Taisha Ellis. Amanda Chin. Ekaterina Galieva. Nicole Chin. Christopher Yukio Demond. Tillman Joseph Falgu. Julio Galvez. Reuben David Galvin. Samuel Brock Elliott. Sachi Chala. Michael Dong. Sylvia Choi. Robert M. Frazier. Andrew Michael Fredrickson. Catherine Jane Bruyere. Krista Murphy Keener. Lauren Nicole Gage. Allison Claire Fredman. Sia Theon. Siddhi Desai. Panya Ekaracha Enche. Shiotone Gouache. Peter Giovanato. Keith Allen Glassbrook, dual degree, School of the Environment. Nikhil Gola. Kushbu Golani. Arti Gulbadi. Jesse Guao. Jonathan Adam Guy. Shannon Greiser. Animus Jane. John G. Harb III. Charles Gregory Hatcher. Braden Ray Hess. Omar Sadat Hossein. Jeffrey John Howard. Benjamin Douglas Oakham. Amelia Hope Ho, dual degree, School of the Environment. Jeanette Huang. Ellie M. Lakeisha Beth Henderson Davis. Leah Jordan Hainsworth. Bonnie Kong. Jose Ignacia Jimenez. Ishmael Marcelo Hernandez. Ann Fulton Hart. Michael Taylor Hoffman. Jenna Haley Katz. Monica Arun Kumar. Jose Ignacio Guerrero Canapa. Ruben Gendelman. Tomer Katz. Elizabeth Locke Christuli. Alexandra Janine Kim. Brad D. Kabak. Saji Andrew Kanak. William Holwick. Christopher Kirkman. Corey Philip Kushner. Rafael Jimenez. Takayaki Joe Kanada. Nikita Ivayenka. Ashley Danielle King. Lauren Michelle Kahn. Christopher Allen Kilgore. Anuj Jurari. Stuart Lionel Jardine. Jiang Guo. Qifeng Jiao. Shibei Jia. Yijin Hu. Samuel Joseph Gervitz. Eloy Jose Hervez Guilla. Travis Jansen. Ryan Robert Hill. Ian Fisher Graham. Bradley Stephen Kineski. William John Holly II. Nicholas Link Helvey. Sether Borden Hansen. Derek Francis Gould. David Ray Kresmer. Eli Benjamin Khan. Niladri Kondu. Anish Kataria. Akul Kumar. Wanse Khan. Chien Kate Kok. Allie Ainsley Jones. Benjamin Ray Richard Lehue. Jim Young Lee. Yunki Lee. Can I do it now? This last one. Deshaun Lewis.
Hector Lowe. Hannah Frey Lauber. Charles Edward Lewis III. Max Mandanak. Rana Alexandra Marks. Christopher Mathis. Matthew Armando Martinez. Sean Michael Miller. Samuel Ellis McClive. Huiyan Elise Tong Lee. Colleen Margaret Maloney. Travis Raymond McNamara. Jeffrey Appel Mitchell. Sean Mehta. Anshul Matal. Harold Robert Melia. Sean William McMahon. Mark Richardson Mooring. Callie Murphy. Heather Melcher. Marin Joe Mayland. Megan Putnam McGee. Manuela Ivanova Mikova. Felicia Priyanka Menigla. Christina Magalhaes Lima Grinda. Leo Mureb Lemos. Pedro Augusto Sequeira Mendonça. Tiago Miranda. Edwin Matos. Gaston Oneto. Jaime Geraldo Laguna Salazar. Carlos Alberto Najera Zarco. Siyi Liu. Elliot Lee, dual degree with the medical school. Marlise Mazzillo. Wing Long Wen. Min Van Tuan Lee. Kevin Scott McCrory. Christopher Con Win. Dexter Liu. Victor Chung Liu. Ayush Mansingh. Mike Metkovsky. Wyeth Andrew McKinney. Thomas Hemingway McNamara. Christopher Harry Lyons. Jonathan Edward Morgan. Galkar Nazarova. Megan M. Nicholas Harper, dual degree with the School of the Environment. Derek Lamb. Steve Sungchol Oak. Yoshino Lee Negishi. Karen Loha. Shi Lu. Neo. Jonathan Michael Miller Meeks. Charles Lyndon Neal. Sarah Elizabeth Niels. Amanda Lee Nelson. David MacArthur Nehart. Masaaki Omachi. Matthew Thomas Oppenheim. Christopher Patrick Orchard. Ejin Q. Elizabeth Catherine Quincer, joint degree with the law school. Slava Petrova. Lowell Miles Simpson. Sarab Pitker. Devere Shamai. Matthew Daniel Pepper. Sachet Ray. Jared Sneed. Matthew Dwight Smith Daniels. Stephanie Marie Salem. Caitlin Kehoe Shorrock. Karay Slaughter. Elizabeth Page Scarency. Alexandra Beth Schreiber. Elizabeth Plotkin. William James Sherba. Joshua Alexander Rafinsky. James Gilbert Paget. Brent Rothschild. Harshit Sharma. Tomas Santolea. Fernando Saavedra. Alejandro Rodriguez Viña Martinez. Juan Francisco Paniega. Jose Guillermo Bardella de Riverato Puyi. Juan Manuel Restrepo. Jose Antonio Ruiz. Pablo Rion Echeverria. Christina Mackenzie Decker. Found yet? Altawa Arturo Saunier. Ashley Morgan Rosenthal. Gabrielle Rachel Senya. Josh Salen. Jeremy R. Santiago. Ryan Wynn Salisbury. Nathan Charles Smith. Brian Winthrop Platter. Zachary Daniel Siegel. Justin McKay Smith. Anand Jaitan Shah, dual degree with the medical school. Tariq Ziad Saeed. Todd H. Riggs. Clinton Chappell Richardson. Tyler James Sipola. Anthony Michael Solis. Zachary M. Price. Charles Cody Schuler.
Thank you very much.
Eric Anthony Souza. Eric David Perkins. Jordan Hayes Relander. Thomas Richard Peacock. Fernanda Frizzo Russo. Christian Romney Robinson. Edgar Patino Donaire Hart. Franco Penamonti Polak. Julie Elizabeth Smith. Asmi Patel. Stacy Pai. Neha Prakash. Paige Marie Schofield Contijak. Bryant Show. Mano Sikar. Michael Callahan Saldariaga. Danielle Riley Sword. William Michael Shinehouse. Timothy David Smith. Michael Andrew Perlmutter. Allison Louise Smith. Charlotte Hamilton Ryan. Andrea Kylie Smith. Carolina Beatriz Pardo. S.K. Saraogi. Junghwan Park. Sudhir Kumar Pathak. Margaret Bush Steenland. James Angelo Williams. Mavis Wrong. Alex Zavatov. Lakshmi Suresh. Jason Scott Taylor. Grace Tong. Chase Devin Ulisny. Ravi Gulab Tulani. Patrick Manley Starr.
Thank you very much.
Varun Vaswani. Remington Thomas Williams. Mayshawn Michael Wilson. Justin Kuan Tang. Julie Spavinta. Stephanie Lee Thierer. Michael John Videra. Mark Yan. Huiling Sun. Chris Zaiming Wang. Lorena Vasquez de Silva, dual degree with the School of the Environment. Shayla Ann Stewart. Alyssa Kate Steinmetz. Jacqueline Marie Wiseman. Catherine Lee Thomas. Vincent C. Danny Wu. Ting Zhang. Ross King Stewart. Michael Jacob Thompson. Andrew Gordon Vance. Paul Howard Taylor. DeLon Spencer. Karen Chu Shang. Sarah Catherine Van Vliet. Nina Shrivastava. Jordan Tavierne Kavanaugh. Jenna Nicole Weiner. Alexander Surzan. Jordan Terry. Colin Robert Thilo. Jeffrey A. Wyerko. Anu Swapna Sundaravel. Mengji Yang. Yor Stresk-Swick. Sergio Enrique Vital de Carvalho Silva. Elliot Jiming Wong. Kevin Stephen Yevchek. April Wang. Mohammed Ziauddin. Christopher Thomas. Mansi Rajendra Soni. Uvinesh Tumkur. Swati Tiwari. Sailesh Tota. Mina Zhang. Timothy Jinhuang Yoon. Su Yao. Sher Yang. Yuqing Chu. Netcha Vasavivat. Mohit Verma. Cristobal Chico Valenzuela Gamboa. Nicolas Whitmer. Felipe Zuluaga.
Could I please ask the graduates to stand? Please join me. Okay, so I didn't even have to complete the sentence. Join me in congratulating our graduates, but fantastic. So I'd like the students to remain standing. If everyone else could please be seated. And if you could remain seated until all of us have recessed out of the building, and then join us over in the Fox Center for the continuing celebration of this great day. Before we recess out of the building, I can't miss this opportunity for a final set of words to the graduates. So every time we have a graduating class, they always want to know what makes them different. And so for this group, I think what really distinguishes you is that if we think about graduation, oftentimes people think about this as a backward-looking exercise, as something to reflect on what you've done. And that is an important aspect of what you've done. But what you've done as you look back should also be preparing you for what you do moving forward. Because commencement is actually about commencing something new. And so I want to say a little bit about why I think this class is particularly well prepared to commence on the journey post-Fuqua. So I recently received a recruiter survey through my role at GMAC, and it listed the top skills that recruiters are looking for. The number one skill recruiters are looking for is working with others. That's Team Fuqua, the ability to work with others and to bring out their best. The number two item on that list is to manage self, that they can hire someone and understand that they can do the job and they can do it the right way, that they can exhibit the kind of uncompromising integrity that's so critical in the world today. That it's people who will think like, as Coach K said just the other day, people who will think like owners and not renters. The third item on the list is problem solving. And here's where you definitely excel, because you understand to solve a problem, the way you can do that better than anyone else is not to do it by yourself, but to bring out the best from others around you to solve the problem jointly. The fourth item is listening. Not speaking, listening. And the fifth item is adaptability and flexibility. I think these last two items go together, which is they're simply exemplars of humility. The willingness to listen to others, the willingness to believe that others might know more than you, and therefore the willingness to adapt and flex in terms of your plans. And all of you have embraced this as a part of Team Fuqua. And so you've come here, you've embraced the ideals of Team Fuqua, and you've made them better. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. So thank you for what you've done for the school. Having said that, the other thing that I've come to realize is when people want to know what makes you different, that's not really the question they want answered. That the true question that they're asking is, do you love us, and are we your favorites? And so here, let me say unambiguously that yes, I do love you, and you are my favorite, best class ever. There's only one thing you have to keep in mind, which is you should be hoping that a year from now, I say exactly the same thing to that graduating class. Because if I don't say that, that means we're no longer getting better every year after every year. And so I look forward to being able to say the same thing again next year. So having thanked you, I'd now like to make some requests of you. The first one is something you've heard repeatedly during the day, but it bears repeating, which is you did not get here on your own. Please show appreciation to the people who got you here. Your inclination will be, let me talk to my classmates, because after today, you may be spreading to the four corners of the world. And so let me soak up every last minute with my classmates while I'm with them. But don't forget the people that are here to celebrate with you, who allowed this celebration to happen. And so please show that appreciation deeply and frequently, because it matters a lot. The second thing that I ask is, please stay connected to us. As you think about your experience, think about all the times that you benefited from the people who preceded you, the people who may have come back to give you advice, who may have given you networking opportunities, who may have come into your classes, been on panels. Please stay connected, because we need you to continue to invest in the people who will follow you. The third request I have is something that you've also been hearing about today, which is stay connected to one another. Please don't assume just because you love each other so much today that those bonds will automatically renew year after year. You will have to work, because life is going to come at you fast and furious. You're going to have work changes, life changes, everything will be changing. And it's going to be very easy to focus on what's right in front of you. But don't forget what's always going to be with you. And since Jeanette referred to a song, I'll refer to a song, which is the official song for the Liverpool Football Club, not expressing any allegiances necessarily, but the official song is, "You'll Never Walk Alone." Make sure that you never walk alone. because you have access to this incredible network, this incredible community. Keep the bonds strong, keep the ties strong, because these are people who will make a difference in your lives for the rest of your lives. So please don't forget them. And the last thing that I ask of you is the most important, which is we've heard about being consequential, being a leader of consequence. And so this ask is very simple. It's something that you hear all the time. But please embrace this opportunity to use the platform of business, to use your leadership position in the world to bring other people along with you, to make a difference in the lives of other people, to lead a life not just of success, but a life of significance as well. And if you think back to when I welcomed you into the community, I told you that one of the things that distinguishes the Fuqua community is the fact that we are happy. And it's true that we have a lot of fun, and that's an important part of happiness. But also remember what I meant when I talked about happiness, which is the way Aristotle views happiness, which is making full use of your talents along the lines of excellence, making sure that you use your full potential and making sure that others get to exhibit their full potential. So please, as you go forward in life, stay happy. And finally, be consequential. Thank you so much.